Welcoming you to the Uganda National Cultural Center and full sun. TNAD Waloagine Ningo Kali. Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest is already in the house. She's already with us. And we want to kindly ask that you join the chief guest who is already here to go through the exhibition, because we are beginning with a tour of the exhibition, and then from the exhibition we'll move right into this place, and then you'll be able to take up your beautiful places. So at this particular moment, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite you to begin with the exhibition, to join the chief guest, and who is being accompanied by the Chairperson Board of Trustees, Uganda National Cultural Center, as well as the Executive Director, and then of course the exhibition team. So please, National Culture Forum, National Union, please join the chief guest down over there so that we go through the exhibition, and thereafter we'll come back right here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, as we have the music.
Dr. Bazara Nyamanyaki, Sydney Apollo. Mr. Borotti, Mr. Jits, Mr. William, Mr.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's World Culture Day 2022. Kaseda Kano, the guest of honor, is touring all the exhibitions. They started with the foyer area, then continued to the green room. Then very soon they'll be in this garden. And when they reach here, we are going to officially start with a prayer, then different remarks and different forms of entertainment. Thank you for coming and being part of the celebrations. Me a human. Me a Catholic. Me a Catholic. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, camera person abasasudde muveeyo omwebale nnyo kuba ekifaananyi kyaffe kiri live streamed and we are seeing you instead of the Caligombetic performance. Thank you so much. DJ. Thank you.
Kwata kutunda bosho Isenta nubira zimaru mwenge Nanywa muzme Kabebelekani Kabebelekani Ekiye keja kinuka mseja Ekiye keja kinuka mseja Mahuni chintera ndati Omusaija wanka hatagambwa hogu Amana ni bachuro munabinga mugende Mazala bati bata
sinja naloza era nasasiro yatekereza enusu kulira bwekiruda bona bwensasa bona bwentyambula wononononotyabutyabula omugongo olumbe lukange womutyabule esendonga makira mutyabule walumbe tabuzawo tyabutyabutyabula omugongo olumbe lukange womutyabule niboba mupeirese talutyabule walumbe tabuzawo mutyabule tyabutyabutyabula omugongo olumbe lukange womutyabule esendonga makira mutyabule walumbe tabuzawo tyabutyabutyabula omugongo olumbe lukange womutyabule niboba mupeirese taludimbuke walumbe tabuzawo Mujinete mwidi Wobozira kabina teka waibere Musundo mubili okulibera mwidodo Ame kusemba tabanange mutyagule Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Amutumba mukoli nenda mutyagule Walumbe takusa wo mutyagule Tangirigo nisongo sigi mukombone Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Shodi mani otakowanga Olumbe takusa wo mutyagule Wandimba baba mutyagule Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Kazamba wange nendo tyagule Walumbe takusa wo mutyagule Namulondo tabia nalieri mutyagule Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Itacha wange sikoku mutyagule Walumbe takusa wo mutyagule Tija abe mayuge bakobe Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Chimalyo wange nenda mutyagule Walumbe takusa wo mutyagule Tyabutyabutyabula omugongo Olumbe lukange wo mutyagule Esendonga makira mutyagule Walumbe takusa wo mutyagule
muchachiza wamufuna kweka buzizi Uliwe muroza funa katuyo Awande negalo nezisiwa Dama yako mutima kalewe kuniba Mbuna gatero kutuka Omugenyo wange mugenyi siriji Wata bulungi Ere mukwano kwotoje jamya Yokentule Ere mukwano kwotoje buda Yokenywele Gawa muchazi sono aleta na malala Oiga nempisembi Yali atuite kobuza abantu Yatolika ukimba Abana b'obuwala bafudde abaseku nga banoonya sirigi Wate kuna makabiro na kuna mebbere Mabeere gagala kugwira Ate kundayolesa yamazawo amangu Abaana mutusatye Ebyakaza amasejje biriga amagege nga banoonya lupiya Bibanje bino nga sikadde nnyo naye bitejjale Osaasira omuzadde yazaala abalenzi mulimu kwetwalo Tunuulira ekyana nga kyekubye emawulire n'obula okukaaba Amannya gange mpiriwa gundi myaka 2 nze Abange noonya mukyala wa myaka 6 ng'alina sirigi Anagula essauti nangulira n'empale n'akamotoka nvuge Akanyama akalonja k'empirizi mukyala kaagala nnyo nze N'akavumbi ky'ompulira nkoya n'enteekula oluwoogo Nange munnange nkubiko omukwano naawe okwewuunye N'otunuulira ekyana nga kikuteema n'obula okukyegana Abange mbuuza kibuuzo munzire mu ngenda Busungu bunnuma Oyo nabeera mukyali obabeera mwami Mwenye mukulembeewo Beere mukwano gw'otojajanya Yokentule Omugenyi sirigi kamugenyi lupiya Zembagala bakalanga Owasirigi bannange ne waba mugumba Ntalemwa kuzaala Naddala abaami abalina lupiya Bazaala baabana baabwe
kabazi tusibuka kyango wali tubeera tweddira akasimba n'akabiro kafengo tuva mu ssiga lyambazira ebirizi wali ntambudde ng'omuganda bw'aba mutuba gw'omulya mmamba ekagonga ematanga amawulemu omugenzi jjajjaye yazaala taata wange buyondo akasimba we kaba kasinge tekasimbula ne bimaama kyebiva bitulwanira kyantumya olukagga mulengera bwenkaga beeno okubala yansiima emirimu gyenkola abayo nafuna ne taitosa n'abatugerageranyanga ne bakakkana beeno ndikwebaza ntya mu butandekerero kuleka okugamba nti wangaala nesemanya kakabaka 72 wena amakulu gaago masomogi yasoose kyekwezi pangirwa omuganda zakenga nerya sabataka koolimanyi kyettaka lya buganda kwe mwesongoledde lirye kabaka sekesa kwotodde alina amajindika omuzanyisa kwoki amenya embazzi n'aziwanga mangu ate kyekyamutuumya semanda anenya bwasonyiwa mpologoma envubuka yeeyeera eryanyi limuwala muyite lyampalabwa omwana wa nabijja n'oyo mute jano lyenyirenyini namasola akulike awulira pemeku lyendeese agaayo omuliro era nga bwe gwemeza enku n'atabalirira batyabidde okulaga ofumbi aganda akolobera gwasabula omwana wakanywa bibumba gwekooka omuti ogubala ebikomo n'ensimbi lyekyukyu saggwanga sabufu bwango sabalongo sabasajja sabafumbo kage abeera bukajjumbenko tasiwanneya n'omubuukira bulage wali otegeddeko nti yesemunywa soona yawamba busoga n'abunyoko eryava eryo senkebwa baffe nannyinimu kati ennyanja temanyirwa kwetuuse ennyanja ette abavuya b'ekyojo bwekimanyi omwema nkolerakawo yangu olame amakula ga buganda ye musisi muteeza ggulu namuswa bwendeese sikutuuka okuwummula nneena wafunanga kirabo byotamanyi byendeeta kabaka takulamyana kakuyita kuyuguma ajja kuyugumya olumu bagondi bamuwala mpacoka bawala mpa ku myango bugambye bene takulamyana kakuyita kuyuguma ajja kuyugumya olumu bagondi bamuwala mpacoka bawala mpa ku myango sebunya bwa musoto obusagwa bwasoza ogezanga n'omusonga mw'olugalo olibuwulira lukoma nantawe tomuzza ngoma atawangulwa atabaala n'akomyawo engoma tomuzanyisa abeera liiso lya mpungu alengera ebuli ekimera muzzukulu wa kintu yenna ntaddibwamu kyaggambye saawakomaze oweefuumiranga mukoma gajja kukomage lwaga luwangula nnyini bintu era nnyini bantu sebukulu bwa nnyomu omuzibu naddanyomebwa wasima nakuwa obwami oteekwa kwebaza naye togaana nantakuwa bwami mugema muzaawulako ne mulya zaawo awula ennyondo ogyetikanga ejjekulelule salambwa kika kya musoto ate gutembeka timiti byonyumya kajwanga ogezanga n'omusembereza olumanyimanyi olikeera mu birango embanga ya buganda ababunyatiwa mirembe era kye baavanga bayimba nze seegomba ngoye z'omwanga kiwa mirembe alimpa libasazewo alankoma kawuka kalyawo kalinga mbisigwa ogategeera kusiwa nanga kyayika ati bwali engeri gyalinatawuna timba ddala ateredde mperemendi masaza ga buganda gonna gatumire sookedde kutujesibuka okinemawogola bwe twaliranigana ab'eggomba kitunzibwa mwatya singa mundabire nnyo mu gwenda gwammwe naye mugerere ne butambala mugebale buwekula busujju ne sesakuume
Thank you.
much. Aha. Ladies and gentlemen, right about now, the guest of honor is very, very near us. And as they come inside, we are going to be having them tour the art pieces that are in the gardens. And after that, we shall have a prayer to officially call the Holy Spirit to come and be with us. Yes, after that, we shall have some opening remarks and entertainment. We shall be informing you as the group they unveil. Ladies and gentlemen, right here I can see the Chairperson Board of Trustees, Uganda National Culture Center, Mr. Sam Okello, our guest of honor, Mrs. Director representing the Minister from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and Executive Director, Mr. Francis Peter Ojede. Behind I can see the Executive Director, NABUT, National Book Trust. I can see I can see a lot of board members accompanying above. Thank you so much, Afrique Culture Troupe. Big round of applause for Afrique Culture Troupe, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you once again. We are celebrating the World Culture Day 2022, and right about now, we're going to be starting officially. The guest of honor has been touring all the exhibitions, and now let's start with the national anthem and East African anthem.
Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we'll always stand.
East Africa.
Twaomba unilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu,
much. DJ, right about now, let's have the opening prayer. I would like to invite Reverend George. Reverend George. Reverend George is not, has got a phone call. I would invite HR, Muchala Jackie Ampeire, Otuwe Sara. Thank you so much.
Let's humble ourselves and we pray. Our most gracious Father, today we are in front of you as we have always been, to praise and worship you, to thank you for the gift of our lives, to thank you for the gift of our cultures. Lord Father, we are grateful. We are grateful for who we are. We thank you and we call upon your blessings today. Bless our institution, bless our ministry, bless our country, and bless our cultures. We pray, believing in you, that all will be fine. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to take your seats. And right about now, I would like to invite the Executive Director, Uganda National Culture Center, Mr. Francis Peter Ojede, to come and give the opening remarks. Obugaro wa Executive Director. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to, in a very, very special way, like to welcome all of you to this celebration on this 21st day of May 2022, when we are celebrating the World Culture Day. Allow me to do a little bit of salutations before I proceed with my remarks. I would like to, in a very special way, want to thank our guest of honor tonight, who is none other than our Director for Gender and representing the Honorable Minister, Madame Juliana. Thank you very much for coming. We would like to thank you so much. And the team from the ministry would like to thank you as well. I'd like to, in a very special way, thank our Chairman of the Board of Trustees, the Uganda National Cultural Center, who is right here, with the other board members. Thank you very much for being around. I'll also, yes, thank you. Please do that. I'll also want to, in a very, very special way, thank the representative of the UNATCOM in Uganda that is represented here. I got a call from the Secretary General that there is a representation. Thank you very much for coming. We have our other brothers and sisters who represent the institutions that are helping us to steer this in the culture sector. We have representatives from NUCPAO. Thank you very much for coming. I see the Secretary General, and thank you very, very, very much. That's the union that supports the art. I would like to also, in a very special way, recognize the presence of National Culture Forum. I see the Vice Chair around. Thank you very, very much for coming. And I want to also like to thank all our artists that are around in your different capacities. I know you are here, and I want to really thank you for coming and for the celebration. My team, the UNCC team, the top management and other members of staff, thank you very, very much for being around and for everything that has been put around. The artists, the exhibitors, we have been moving around. Thank you for the job that you've done. Very beautiful job. And I want to also thank the press. I know they're here. Thank you very much for being around. Thank you for supporting us. And thank you for allowing the flow of the celebration to be all over this country. I have come here to welcome you. And I want to use this opportunity to say you're most welcome to Uganda National Culture Center Arena. You're most welcome. The UNCC, and particularly today, the National Theatre, is very pleased to host you, especially as we celebrate the World Culture Day. This is a very special day to this institution because it's the only day that we celebrate our cultures in. And when this day, 21st May, comes, we are excited. And we want to say thank you for coming, the exhibitors, the performers that are going to perform, and every one of you who has turned up to be able to celebrate with us. I will just mention one or two things why we celebrate this day. One, we do celebrate this day because we remind ourselves as people who are in the art and culture that we are in a sector and we are in an industry that is very important. And therefore, this industry is the basis for humanity. It is all humanity emanates from the issue of culture. And it's a very important day. So we celebrate it. We also want to remind ourselves that this is also a way in which we live. And therefore, it's good for us to come together and we share the different experiences that we have had. So it's an important day for us. And I want to thank you for being around to be able to celebrate with us. You are aware that the last 2 years we did not have any celebration of this nature because of COVID. And therefore, this is the first time again that we're coming together after COVID to say thank you, God, and thank you for allowing us to be able to be alive and for able to celebrate this day. So we're also saying thank you. And then lastly, we also want to thank all our partners because we have had partners who supported us during COVID. We've had partners who have supported us during all these times. We want to mention one or two of them. We want to thank particularly government of Uganda for allowing this sector to continue moving even when there was COVID. Thank you very much, government of Uganda, for supporting us. We also want to again thank Operation Wealth Creation who championed and helped us to move through and enable us to go through the COVID period. We want to thank you, and these opportunities what we get, we should be able to say thank you. Thank you very much, Operation Wealth Creation. We know what you've done, and we cannot keep quiet on this. Of course, we cannot stop thanking every one of you who has participated and enabled us to do this. My role today was just to say, I welcome you, and then to be able to allow other speakers to be able to say what they would say. But it would be unfair if I don't say one or two things that we have been able to do over the period. I want to record, and I want it to be in record that UNCC has been able to keep this place running. It has been difficult, but the place is running. And for me, that is a big thing. And I want to thank all the artists that have been with us. Thank you for keeping this place running. The second thing I wanted to say is that even when we were running this place without money, there has been some little activity from all artists. Almost all artists have played a role. We have done the reorganization of the sector, and we still continue to do it. You now know that, as you see from the introduction we have made, we have the leadership of the different organizations and institutions that we work with. I would like to point out one of them. We have the ministry on top, Uganda National Cultural Center as a government institution championing art and culture. We now have the Artists Union, which is also to support us, make sure that this sector thrives. And then we have the National Culture Forum, which has so many domains under them. We encourage you, our artists, let us be organized, be registered under one of these domains. Get registered with either the union, get registered with National Culture Forum, get registered with us so that we can serve you better. It will help in all the things that we're doing. Once again, I want to wish everyone a beautiful celebration on the World Culture Day. I can see everybody out there very, very smart in the cultural attires. Can you wave to your friends as we celebrate this day? Wave to your friends as we celebrate. Thank you very much. I love you and I love yourselves. And please let us celebrate and be happy. Thank you very much. God bless you. I will use this opportunity. Will I? I've been told I'm not yet supposed to invite. I was about to invite.
but I'll pause a bit. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you so much, Edie. A big round of applause for Edie. I'm sure Edie likes my culture attire today. Culture is dynamic, so try to be. Ladies and gentlemen, right about now, I would like to express our happiness killing us in all the partners that have supported, as Edie mentioned. Snap Events gave us all the sound and most of the lights that you see right here. Yes. National Cultural Forum has been with us all through the preparations. Thank you so much. The union, Anita Seruaji and team, has been not only helped to market but also to be part of the organization. Of course, Uganda National Culture Center Management and Board also, thank you so much for all the support that you've given us. Chibanda Express, Muzei Bwanika and your team, thank you so much. Yes, that team has helped through, and also they are part of the symposium, and they really gave very, very fantastic ideas how to move forward after the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about our supporters, our sponsors, every time I come up. In case I've not yet talked about you, please do not think I've forgotten. Like Food Plus. Food Plus is always supportive of our programs at Uganda National Culture Center. House of Talent is also there. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me invite Afrik to give us some entertainment. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right about now, a big round of applause to our Freak Culture Troupe. A big round of applause to our Freak. Ladies and gentlemen, right about now, Kasavu Kanyama, I'm going to invite one of Uganda's finest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Flona! Yeah, Flona just arrived yesterday from UK.
Wherever you do, baby, hand it back. Wherever you go, touch it, your baby, when you Wendy. Era wobera joli manyate, omutima gusula uweka. Waba joli manyate, kulizo chingambe, nishale baba yokumpa chingambe. Mwana gwe chingambe, echale mama yokumpa chingambe. Mwana gwe chingambe, echale mama yokumpa chingambe. Mwana gwe chingambe, echale mama yokumpa chingambe. Sabula isoto chingambe, echale mama yokumpa chingambe. Mwana gwe chingambe, echale mama yokumpa chingambe. Mwana gwe chingambe. bwebutuuka tunulako mu kasondawo kaswiki kateekeko mu kasondawo omuleso otula kuweka joyce wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba otuuse walungi wano wanyuma enjala bwekuluma nga tujjula tekuli ssaawa weyagalira akamuli kange tokawotola osaba kutuusi n'ofukirira wanaaba wampi kwefukamira wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba sabula kati nkuweki kumapenzi gano nkuweki omugati simanyi obalya ku mugati oguliko kabati omugati kaswiki kalyawo bebi kaswiki katekekawo kaswiki sabula wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba wewano bulijjo we bakugamba wewano mukwano tebakulimba sabula gwe Thank you. Yeah, Flona is my name, Nanchinga, from Sierra Planet. I want to thank National Culture Forum for giving me this chance. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause to Flona. Thank you so much for giving us that entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to clear the air and tell you today, it is World Culture Day. Can we say World Culture Day? Okay? It's not only Uganda Culture Day. It is World Culture Day. So we are exhibiting various cultures provided they respect human rights. All right? Bana kodeyo. Kodeyo. Murije. TNAD. Ningo. Who did I forget? Just put up your hand if I forgot you. Who did I forget? Akironyo. Oriena. Now in Busoga, during such occasions, there's something we call omuzira. Anaidi omuzira. Anaidi omuzira. Ido tuwe mwanida Suzanida. Misinde. Lumuke misindo ido tulago omuzira. Omuzira no kuliwa in such a situation. Tuwe sam. Otaira, sing aloud. Do we have somebody from another region who can do that? Apart from the chief guest. Apart from the chief guest. Anybody else from another region and you do that? Anybody? Tebiniyo. Bini busoga oka. Busoga yoka. Busoga yonka. Which other region? Put up your hand if there's somebody from another region. We just want to sample this here today. Just put up. Come. Round of applause to her. Looks like this is for the ladies. I don't know. I don't know. We are yet to see how the men do this.
This is from Lango.
Good, don't go away, don't go away, don't go away, just stay there. Susan, this is now your microphone. Do we have another person from another region and you do that? Come over, come over, come over, quickly, give a round of applause. Give a round of applause, give a round of applause. You just tell us the region and then you go ahead.
Baganda.
Go, and then? I'll stay here. Togenda sigara wo. Togenda sigara wo. Okay. Do you have another microphone? Do you have another microphone? Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the judges. You are the judges. We are not competing, but we just want to sample from all the regions. Where do we start from? From Sogi. Okay, Sogi. From Sogi, we go to Ankole, we go to Buganda, and then we go to Lango. Okay? Ready? Now, Ankole. Now, Uganda. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can take up your seats. Thank you. Yes, please. A round of applause. Mikwano gyaffe abali ku geeti ebintu bino waliwo eyabisasulidde muli baddembe okuyingira bwe musanga yenna abagaana okuyingira mujje mu ŋŋambe muwulidde tuli wa mujje muli mutuwuubireko nno mutuwuubireko mujje muyingire tewabaawo abagaana wali tusanyusa obalabako mujje muyingire munyumirwe okuva wano. Now in Busoga, I guess even from, those from Lango, then Buganda, then Ankole, when you hear that, it is a signal there is a new birth. If it's not a new birth, somebody is getting married or somebody is marrying, right? Am I right? Am I right? Oh, there is food harvest. If not, there is something good. It is all about good news. That's why I said that we have this here, this afternoon, as we celebrate World Culture Day. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, put your hands together and welcome Cheka on stage.
Gabo.
Gabadega menya.
Mazinanga menya menyanga.
Gabadega menya.
Chifuba chimenya menyanga.
Chibate chimenya.
Thank you very much. Kakati?
Yeah.
Kabul.
Yes, teacher.
No, wait. Shani?
Yes, teacher.
Give us another song for our visitors.
Okay, teacher.
Yes.
You almost sang 1, 2, 3. We
Sing!
Just sing. Now
Just
I
sing
do
it.
sing this song.
Father Abraham.
How many sons?
How many sons of Father Abraham? I am one of them. So are you. So let us praise the Lord. Right hand, left hand, right hand, left, turn around. Sit down.
Sit down.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, Kaguru,
Yes.
come and present a song for our visitors. Okay? A cultural song, okay?
Yes, teacher.
Hurry up.
And by the names of Kagulu,
Is that a song? I'm saying a song, not the names.
which I'm introducing.
All right, go ahead.
This is the before class, and we are going to present to you a song. This Kaimba Chipe.
Bedroom bully.
1, 2, 3, enter.
Shut up! Which song is that? You are shaming me. Honorable Bedroom culture. Bedroom tikatono bedroom dierua. Nani kwa sasa? Kabisa na sita. Kati ndio yimba.
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Shut up!
Culture is dynamic.
Yes, teacher.
It cuts you all out.
Shut up, I'm talking, you're also talking. Why are you making noise for me? Akati nyagalombuli. Nebo otegera tu.
Enter.
Wacha otegera dada chirono wechi. When you wait, you said you're called Kagu.
Yes.
Kagu.
Yes. And my father is called Mr. Mkulu. And then my great-great-grandfather is called Mkulu. And then my judge, the one who came back to this one, the first one. So it's called
Mugulu.
So even my sister is called Namakulu. So everywhere. Yeah.
Your family is right.
Go away.
Make melodies in my heart.
Make melodies in my heart.
Make melodies in my heart.
To the King of Kings.
To the world.
King of Kings.
Oh, thumbs up. Make melodies in my heart.
Melodies in my heart.
Make melodies in my heart.
To the King of Kings.
To the what?
To the King of Kings.
Oh, thumbs up. Elbows in. Head bend. Tongue out.
Thank you very much. Now it is time for questions.
Shall we have a poem?
I don't want the poem. Do you have it?
No, the poem, no.
All right. Now it is time for questions.
Yes.
Okay? I'm beginning with you. Let me see. Come. Come in front. Now, I want you to give me the answer. In full. UN in full.
Hamna wako.
UN.
UN. Very simple. Then.
Uganda. Teacher.
Give me the answer.
Uganda party.
Come, first come. And you laugh. Tell me, where is N in the bat? Where is it? You are beautiful for nothing. Empty head. But then again, look, what's up? Where is N in the bat?
Teacher, that's a big brutal.
Come. Charlie, come. Come in front. But why am I wasting my time to ask you questions? After you're going to fail, you give me the answer of the lotions that you use for bleaching yourself. Go back, don't waste my time. Go back.
It's white.
Why are you hiding? All the time keeping yourself behind. Why are you hiding? I know. Come. Come. Never go
we balangirira covid nozaala abalo 19 ne baddamu ne balangirira covid omulala era noddamu nozaala amakati gwe mugaso goki kuzaala buzaazi ayo producer kuli enaku ng'enu amakati gwenkubuza ekiro jja kuziramu ansa labor ward genda ddayo ate kati abaana tobatuma wasi oba kato covid quarantine thank you very much. Now why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? This one. So now I'm going to ask you questions. 2 questions or 1 if not. Now bigger people, bigger questions. Come.
Your turn. You come.
Come in front. Don't waste my time.
You go.
I'm not the one who said the quarantine.
Sanji. So now the question is UNESCO in full. UNESCO. Yes. I'm only giving you 2 minutes. The moment I come back, the answer let me come back.
I remember.
Uganda.
No.
Dinda ko weli wano.
Kangu nawe, kangu. UNESCO.
No. This one. Let's take now. You also.
Edu. No sooner did I ask you the question
Then I failed. UNESCO. Uganda National Educational Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNESCO. Sike nabagambye.
It is united, not
yes, Uganda. Hey, united. Lead again.
United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Baba no. Bagambye. World Day, Theatre Day, World Culture Day, pronounced May 2020, May 21st as World Culture Day. This day was observed annually worldwide. What is UNESCO?
UNESCO United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization.
Babi kuteleva bagamba bibaddamu. Will you remember?
Teacher who?
Nina koma.
Mumuja. Never musajjo yanta. That man is so violent. He comes here and beats us all the time. We need to find a solution.
That one. It's just human
nature.
This organizer is a guy of why you don't want to show him that I'm strong.
We need to stand out. We need to stand out and refuse this brutality.
I want to go up like this. Can I tell him? Tukoye.
Hey, Nafa we support. Tukoye. Teamwork. UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO.
How many people did I ask?
All of us.
Teamwork. Are you called teamwork?
We work as a team.
You are called teamwork.
Okay,
Mr. Teamwork. Go down. Teamwork. And for you, when they don't can you don't understand. So you understand by points. Wakala wansi kutaka. What?
No, I can explain.
Explain what? Come here.
Tukoye.
Which subject is that?
Mukoyani.
Nani?
Okoyani. Kaburu. You are becoming more stubborn. Let me also become more stubborn than you. Okoyani sebo. Ani kwa okoye. Wako wakubati. Okoyeze, Mungoye.
We are not with him. Once we are good students.
Mungoye, Namwe.
Let that.
Thank you so much, Cheka Cheka. Another round of applause to the team. Thank you so much. I think there's a lot for us to learn from there. Yes, we can use art to explain complicated theories. Did you understand that? Complicated things can be simplified just using art and culture. I remember during the 80s, now we are talking COVID. HIV had become a menace to the entire country. And they had to bring in theater, they had to bring in music, they had to bring in dance to explain simple, to make it simple to everybody. And if you remember very well, the same thing had happened to COVID. It was becoming a menace until they had to bring in arts to make it easier. We want to encourage even those people in lands, just bring in arts and culture. We'll make it simple for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, at this particular moment, I want to welcome the representative from the arts and culture sector to make a statement. Please put your hands together for the Vice Chairperson, National Culture Forum, none other than Batambuze Charles.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Batambuze, all the way from Busoga. It's a pleasure for me to be speaking on behalf of the culture and creative industries practitioners. I'm Vice Chair of the National Culture Forum, as you heard. The National Culture Forum is an umbrella organization for all associations in the culture and creative industries. And we started many years ago, but in 2019 is when really almost everybody got on board. And since then, we have been trying to push the borders, the boundaries for the sector. Our guest of honor, yesterday, we had a symposium which was part of activities to mark this year's World Culture Day. And in that symposium, we hosted a very strong panel of people that come from different fields within our sector, experts, practitioners, very interesting people that are very passionate about the arts and culture, all the culture and creative industries. And the purpose of the symposium yesterday was for us to reflect on what is happening within our sector from the different perspectives that people have. We noted that we have been contributing quite significantly to the development of Uganda. We looked at some of the statistics which point a very, very positive image. For instance, that we contribute 3% to GDP, which is about $849.6 million US. That's a lot of money that we bring into the country. We also noted that we're employing so many Ugandans, we are providing them with jobs. We noted the fact that during COVID, people remained sane and healthy and happy because of the entertainment that we are giving them in their homes. In terms of the music, the films that they watched, the literature that they read. We also noted that actually during the lockdown, many people became culturists. Some started painting, others wrote books, others became musicians, and so on and so forth. Which means that the culture sector has a very big attraction to the population. However, we were disappointed that although we are doing so much, or that we have been doing so much, for the people, our contribution is still under-recognized or unrecognized. And yesterday, we said that maybe we need to break down many of the things, because every person is really cultural. In the morning, when we wake up, we make a decision on what to wear for the day. And that wear is part of our culture and creative industries. Somebody said that the women decide to wear makeup, and that is part of our art. And so many things. When we drive in our cars or in the taxis, we listen to the music, and that keeps us happy and entertained and gets us ready for the day. When we get to office, some people read, others, we do so many things that are around culture. And we need to broaden the awareness of what actually culture and creative industries are and what benefit people derive from it. Because this happens on a daily basis, that people, the activities that surround their lives are cultural, or they are products of the culture and creative industries. And therefore it shouldn't be so hard for us to get people to appreciate our contribution to the country, to the social well-being of Ugandans. Our guest of honor, in addition, we have been agitating for many things. Last year and the other year, for instance, the Minister of Culture and Arts, we have talked about culture infrastructure, the one-stop center, and so on. Yesterday we added to that shopping list, and one of the issues we noted is that there have been so many attempts at providing opportunities for people to train and get educated in the arts and culture. However, there have also been so many frustrations because some of the programs, training programs that have been designed have either flopped or nothing has happened. Yesterday, we acknowledged the Minister of Education for introducing in the new curriculum for lower secondary school that subject called performing arts. And we called upon all artists to get interested in this subject because part of the challenge normally is lack of teachers. So as much as possible, our guest of honor would like to appeal to you to help us liaise with the Minister of Education so that we can have teachers out of the training colleges that understand this subject of performing arts. We believe that if this curriculum is rolled out in a period of 10 years, the artists in 10 years' time will be different from the artists that we've been having over the years. Our guest of honor, we also noted that for any sector to grow, we need philosophers. We need people that are very highly qualified, technically, but also philosophically. And for that reason, this sector needs to attract a lot of people, maybe with master's degrees and PhDs. We noted that the Department of Performing Arts and Film, formerly MDD, for all the years that it has been there, the only 30 people that have graduated with a master's from that department and only one PhD. That is very depressing to us. We think we should be doing much more. And the question is, why are we not attracting as many students to study at those levels? Because our sector will not grow unless we have people trained and developed at that higher level to think for us and look out for new things that would help us to change the way we practice the trade. Our guest of honor, the other issue was that artists have the responsibility to work so that they can get themselves out of the challenges that we face currently. And for that reason, we said we need to put effort to develop our associations so that we can have a collective voice wherever a collective voice is required for us to address some of the challenges. And that's where the National Culture Forum, the Artists Union, and all the different associations come into play. Our guest of honor, we also noted that once we organized, then we'll be able to support our institutions, especially those set up by government, like UNCC and others, to also be strong and also to attract, become highly placed in terms of the imagination of Ugandans. We discussed the issue of markets, commercialization of the works of art, the goods and services from the culture and creative industries took center stage, because there's no way that we can advance what we are doing if people are unable to make money from their practices. And for this reason, we said we need to commercialize copyright, because copyright apparently is one of the most important pillars of the culture and creative industries. It is what we trade in, it's what we use to exchange for money, because we trade in the different rights. And we said that artists and writers and so on should be enabled to convert into money. There's so many rights that the copyright law affords each one of them. We said that artists can commercialize their works through licensing, they can do it through assignments, they can do it through sale of the different rights, and that way be able to earn money and a living. We talked about the registration of copyright, that although it is voluntary within our Copyright Act, it's important that artists and writers understand the need to register. We talked about the fees for registration, and especially because it's about 500,000 register work. That is too high. If you have 20 songs, and for each song you are paying 500,000, that would be exorbitant. So we need to look at ways. Government needs to help us in this case to ensure that these fees become affordable, so that artists can register their works. The value in registering is that people can use the certificates to access credit from the banks. They can use it to prove ownership of their works, and so many other benefits that arise from registration. We also noted that the new system, the new law of Security Interest in Movable Properties Act recognizes the use of intellectual property as collateral security. As most artists would attest, many of them have probably gone to the banks and they have been asked, where is the land title, which they might not have. For that reason, it was a good thing that this intellectual property was included in that act. We would like to see financial products, bank products tailored to the use of copyright as collateral security, so that artists can be able to access credit from the banks. Our guest of honor, the issue of collection of royalties was one of the big issues discussed. There is no way that we can develop an industry where members are not earning royalties from their works. And we would like support to achieve certain initiatives that will help us to collect royalties for creatives. One of them is the private copy levy, which is a payment that is imposed on gadgets that are used to exploit copyright protected works. Gadgets like mobile phones, iPads, and so on. And these days, increasingly, the consumption of art has transformed, and we receive music, we receive literature, and all other products on these gadgets. And yet, creatives are not earning from these uses. We noted that although we have been negotiating with the Minister of Finance to have this levy imposed in the next financial year, we appear to have hit a hard rock, and we think that our guest of honor, you can probably support this initiative so that it happens during the course of the next financial year. We noted that this initiative would bring in a whole 68 billion Uganda shillings. And the funding levels for the arts at the moment are so low, maybe about 5 billion at most. And yet, the biggest revenue earner is being ignored. We think that something must be done about that. Then the issue of the celebrities coloring back tunes. We noted that the 700 shillings which people pay for subscribing to CRBTs, government is taking 50%. And yet, when the artists came up one time to ask for support from government, the population was saying, artists are beggars. We were not begging. We were asking what is rightfully ours. Because, seriously, in one of the years, the telecoms collected the whole 78 billion. 50% of that is a lot of money. And this has been happening for the last 20 years or more, since the CRBT business came into play. So artists have been contributing. And really, when you go and say, please, we have hit some challenges, we would like some support from government. It's not unfair for us to be doing that. We were just asking because we have been contributing. We have also noted that, the taxpayers, I think MTN is the biggest taxpayer. And what are they selling that gets them all that money? Part of it is, of course, airtime, but most of it is data. And what are we using data for? We are using data to download music or upload music. Everyone in Uganda does that. We are using data to download movies or upload movies. Most people in Uganda do that. We are using data to read books. We are using data to look at comedy skits and so on and so forth. So the art and culture industry is the one that is actually making these telecoms to shine as the biggest taxpayers. Ideally, it should be said that the creative industry is the biggest taxpayer because we are the ones making these things happen. For that reason, the CRBT revenue sharing model is very unfair to the artists. It is very exploitative. That is their word. Government is taking 35%. The telecoms take 50%. The telecoms take 35%. The artist takes 1.8%. Really, we think that the model should change, and the National Culture Forum is developing a petition to petition the Minister of Justice because CRBTs fall under the copyright law. We would like a change. In Kenya, we have learned, for them, their law now says the artists are entitled to 52%. Yesterday, we noted that we shouldn't let the Kenyan artists buy private jets and all the nice cars. When our artists are walking and also riding on borders. So, our guest of honor, this is something that you should get interested in because it is going to change the industry forever. These people don't require allocations from Parliament, even though we need them for purposes of culture infrastructure like theaters, cinemas, and so on. These people need opportunity to earn from their works, and we should make the copyright law work. The thing is, it is going to hurt government or even big private businesses that have been earning these monies. But changing that and supporting the artists will improve revenues, it will create more jobs, and it is in the interest of government that the culture and creative industries create even more jobs for the sector. Our guest of honor, we also talked about the CMOs, the collective management organizations like UPRS, Uganda Women Rights Society, URO, Uganda Reproduction Rights Organization, and UFMI, Uganda Federation of Movie Industries. We said that the artists need to support these organizations because these organizations gain their strength from the support of the members who are the artists. Secondly, we said that the environment should be created for them to be able to collect monies from all those people that are supposed to pay for licenses for the use of works. Our guest of honor, the deficit that we have in the royalty collections is about 268 billion Uganda shillings. That is money that is not being collected. This event is supposed to be much bigger than this if all this money was collected. So let's create the environment at the policy level for this money to be collected by the CMOs. Our guest of honor, we talked about harnessing the opportunities brought by digital, and the key challenge there is that most artists are not yet well versed or comfortable with using digital ways to commercialize their works. But we noted that digital gives us the opportunity to have a wider market reach, and because of that, we are calling on partners, government, development partners, civil society, and all people interested to help us train the artists so that we can have at least some basic technical knowledge of how we can operate within the digital environment and use it to make money for the sector. Our guest of honor, there was a concern about cultural values, things what is called traditional culture expressions. These are very important for our country, and we think that the different groups within Uganda, their cultural expressions should be protected. I know that in the copyright law there is something on that, but you see, protection of traditional culture expressions is much more than what the copyright law can provide for. So maybe we need a special policy, we need a special law or something like that, so that communities that have these traditional culture expressions can benefit from them once these are picked up for commercialization. Our guest of honor, the issue of human rights and freedom of expression was also discussed. We said that for us to be creative, we must have guarantees that we will enjoy our freedom of expression, but also that we will be safe to practice our various vocations within the culture and creative industries. And for this, guest of honor, would like to ask you to engage with the parties, everyone really, including the development partners and people highly placed within government, to ensure that these artistic freedoms are respected and protected so that these people can create more works and Ugandans enjoy. I would like to thank you for listening to me and to wish you and everyone here a happy World Culture Day. Thank you.
Another round of applause to Mr. Charles. Thank you so much for that elaborate presentation. Our chief guest, in his presentation, he highlighted that Department of Performing Arts, Makerere University, has produced very few graduates. I want to add on quality graduates. And our chief guest, I want to proudly tell you that Msifa Robert is one of them. Probably that explains the charisma and the stamina. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I want you to put your hands together and welcome one of the youngest artists in this country, who is making an impact in lives of people by the way he does. He presents his music. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome Baguma.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Mpiti wandere yansula wali mu kiyembe ne anjula njagala omanye nkumanye oli mulungi nkutya naye nkwagala wanyiriridde mu kagoya kakabulu olinga omusana ogwakaboneka gye bakuzaala enjuba gyesibuka erinnya lyo n'ennamba nyamba mbifune ggwe njagala jasito nfuula omwami wo nze kuba nkwesunga nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo nze muli kwesunga nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo nina obugwenzera nange okunyuma nkusuubiza obutakuswaza mu banno tonjaba byo binyiza simanyi nja kufuubanga nkole ng'ebyo ebisanyusa sekamuba oti nengera fyuca yange ggwe nkwataako wano omutima guterere ziramu nno ne bw'obanga onvuma naye bw'osirika neeraliikirira naawe ng'ate nkwesunga nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo nze muli nkwesunga nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo ngambaro najja ngambaro yitakuwano ngambaro najja ntege nesala obuweno nze ngambaro najja ngambaro yitakuwano ngambaro najja ntege na 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 nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo kyokka nkwesunga nnyo nnyo nze nkwegomba nnyo nkwesunga sunga 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 nnyo 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 nkwegomba gomba 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 nganga 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 muli mutya Andrea Baguma na album bagita Andrea so kunkeberako ku YouTube, Spotify, ku Facebook, Instagram, and this particular song is titled Son of a President. I'm a son of a president, don't just mu local residency. I'm a son of a president, don't just mu local residency. The woman don't allow I dream big and I got a lot of confidence. In the Sebai on a mansion, I had the goal of Agati, a chasuleni mugeto. He who sits in me is the King of Kings. So I worry none cause I know he's got it all. I'm so big, so rich, so VIP. Wabadeta money together. Oh yo yenze, I'm a son of a president. Yenze. Ninze, in a local residence, Ninze. Oh yeah, Yenze, son of a president, Yenze. I'm afraid you might be shocked if I told you that I am not poor at all. Nguwaga fana nyuka teleke cause I'm sure with time ujaku wato chantegera. Ndi mwana wa mutindo, sati sanira nalonde wakatonda. Gwa wakana siku kayanya, Yesu rali kukwata koja kujulira. Oyo Yenze, son of a president, Yenze. Ninze, in a local residence, Ninze. Yenze, Yenze. Say I speak good English. Siringa variable job dedicate. Mukama yansomesa, I hold a degree. I'm so intelligent yet so talented. Mukama nkwebaza wankukukiriza abana abazaba enkola manyi balikiriza namwe obugalo sibulira namwe oyo yenze son of the president yenze metafari ndetaga. Alright, now this song is Rwanda Sebagala namesake. Yeah! Hallelujah! Guess what one means?
Andrew, you're not following the SOPs. We can no longer forward during this COVID-19 right now.
Now this is a story about my father and daughter. I hope you enjoy it. The song is Akana Kange. You can check my album on Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Andereya Baguma, like Andereya Baguma. Manyi jompulire kana kange obango mpulire koma wewa kata takusonyiye koma wewa kane mama kusonyiye laba wava mu ssomero nogenda ne Beni owagaviri yatwala omwana wange naye Beni alabika bubi nnyo mpulira nti agaya n'obukola tabanga yakussa mu bikosi akana kanga k'obuwala akana kange nze ak'obuwala jangwe waka akana kange koma waka mwana wange akana kange nze ak'obuwala akana kange nze ak'obuwala jangwe waka akana kange koma waka mwana wange. Yesu wange Yesu wange nikukode mirundi mingi nyambo kume akana kange simanyi kyekalya simanyi wekebaka mpulira bakala be mu ghetto nti kayigana amazina ag'engeri akana kanga ak'obuwala akana kange nze ak'obuwala jangwe waka akana kange koma we waka mwana wange mwana wange kana kange tobanga bazalira omuyaye omwana tabanga yazalira Beni swadenze kale obanga ozala omwana mulete talina musango naye toleta Beni tonetere kiyaye wange kale wabanga Beni aterera mudde waka mbasonyiye mudde waka mukolembaga omponye okuswala nawo onegena akana kange nze ak'obuwala akana kange nze ak'obuwala.
Thank you so much, Andrea Baguma. Another round of applause. Okay, if your name is Ben, put up your hand. If your name is Ben, just put up your hand. Just. Thank you so much, Ben. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whoever invented the guitar copied another instrument from Uganda. He just copied and then he took it to another level. Ladies and gentlemen, with me on stage is an instrument from Uganda. It also, how many strings are there, sir? How many strings? 8 strings. Now, what the guitarist did was to remove the 2 strings and remain with the 6. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you. Okay, the sound, somebody, DJ, technician, he needs the sound. Please put his sound right. Put his sound right. I also want to tell you that the inventor of this instrument also had to copy something from the guitar, because whenever he played, nobody could hear. So when he saw that cable getting into the guitar, he also said, I think I can copy this one and bring it here, and the rest of the world will hear what I'm playing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me. So, microphone on your jagala jireta one. You're just here. Now, in Busoga we call this one Entongoli, and actually the man who invented it was from Busoga. You know, it's where I come from. Don't complain. I grew up seeing this instrument Entongoli. Now Kabaka sent somebody to Busoga. Actually, Kabaka is the one who came to Busoga, and when Mukama came and played before him, the Kabaka was very, very happy. So he asked the man to come to Buganda, and when he came to Buganda, he played. Now Kabaka tasked his musicians also to create the same thing, and they call it now in Buganda Endongo. In Busoga it's Entongoli, in Buganda it's Endongo. I don't know, do we have somebody from another region where you have this instrument? Somebody else from another region where you have the same instrument? At least somebody from Western Uganda should have put up their hands, because I've seen it in that region also. And they call it another name. We'll hear that. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Are we ready? The other one is called the Rigi Rigi. If I'm not mistaken, it is called the Rigi Rigi. Others call it Endingidi. Others call it what? Endingiri. Endinjiri. So Endingidi, Rigi Rigi, Endinjiri. Is it because of the way it does? Giri 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 giri. So they give that name from that kind of perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, on stage we have Sempeke, and Sempeke is giving us Omusango Gwabaliri. Enjoy.
Omusango Gwabaliri, how did it come around? Long time ago, as Mukama Wange has been narrating, the Kabaka had musicians in his parish, Sekabaka in fact. And so he had musicians. But you know, when you are in the parish, you are not allowed to fool around with the princesses, or else you will face the consequence. So these musicians really broke the law, and they mocked around. They went behind the parish, and I'll not tell what was the outcome. So the Kabaka came to know, after knowing, the musicians, after knowing that Kabaka has got the information, the bad thing they are doing in the parish, they tried, they ran away for their lives. So the Kabaka passed on, and so the successor of the Kabaka said, my tata had musicians in the parish. So what happened? Where are they? And he said, they're there. And he sent them, he sent a messenger for them. So when they came, they thought the case of Abalele has erupted again, and they sang the song. Instead of saying Omusango gwa Abalele gwegaludde, they said Ndigenda n'Abalele abeekalungu, but the true sense was that Omusango gwa Abalele gwegaludde. So when the king was impressed with the song, he asked, what were they singing about? He said, sir, that you'll go with the flute players. But in the true sense, they thought that the case of Abalele had erupted again. So it's Omusango gwa Abalele. Omusango gwa Abalele gwegaludde bantwalira gye banzala. Omusango gwa Abalele gwegaludde bantwalira. Omusango gwa Abalele wonna bantwalira. Laba ndigenda n'Abalele abeekalungu bantwalira gye banzala. Gwegaludde bantwalira. Omusango gwa Abalele wonna bantwalira. Laba nkunyakunya eddiiro we ndimaze bantwalira gye banzala. Wange gwegaludde bantwalira gye banzala. Ndigenda n'Abalele wamma bantwalira. Omusango wamma gwegaludde bantwalira gye banzala. Wange gwegaludde bantwalira. Ndigenda n'Abalele wamma bantwalira. Laba nkunyakunya eddiiro we ndimaze salina ekinapaayo. Kyebanyimba nga ndaba ebweru. Walayibwe ndifa bulinziika. Laba ndigenda abeekalungu bantwalira gye banzala. Abange baana bato bantwalira gye banzala. Mwena ngalongala bange baze wano. Abeekalungu bantwalira. Laba nkunyakunya eddiiro we ndimaze bantwalira gye banzala. Bongo w'ennimi onoolyanga tola musiba. Sebo ndigenda nani abeekalungu bantwalira gye banzala. Abange baana bato. Sebo ndigenda n'Abalele abeekalungu bantwalira gye banzala. Omange gwegaludde bantwalira gye. Sebo ndigenda n'abange baana bato. Bw'otuuma ng'otoza tonyo wasituka agendayo. Ajja kuweereza omuliro amaze okwogerawo atyo ng'amaziga agakunkumuka. Ekyo sobosokola ebaana batunje werekera nzeka essanja eriziika bannaffe abayizi bagabuza obusolo. Naba mbagamba bannange mbagamba naba mbagamba bannange mbagamba Sebo mbagamba abange baana bato bantwalira gye banzala. Bw'oba ow'ennimi onoolyanga tolabi. Bange ow'ennimi onoolya bantwalira gye. Sebo ndigenda nenderede ndede derenderedere nde Naba omusango gw'Abalele gwegaludde bantwalira. Naba nkunyakunya eddiiro wenzibwa ne salina epinapaayo. Kyeva nnyimba nga bweru bwe ndifa mulinziika. Kyeva nnyimba nga ndaba ebweru bamma bwe ndifa balinziika. Sempeke yazaala nnyo baana bato. Sempeke yazaala nnyo baana bato. Okero kugamba otya abange baana bato bantwalira. Bw'oba ow'ennimi mwana ogyedeko Sebo ngamba ogyede munnange kwata gwe Sebo. Ndaba abakalungu bantwalira gye banzala. Bw'oba ow'ennimi onoolyanga kyolabi. Bw'oba ow'ennimi onoolyanga ewetabi. Kyalo kiwaddeko abamanyi ekiraza mwa. Kyalo kiwaddeko abange ekiraza mwa bannange Sebo ndigengamba. Wama webale nnyo nawe webalera. Abange baana beba bantwalira. Naba nkunyakunya baana bato bantwalira gye banzala. Bw'oba ow'ennimi onoolyanga kyola. Ow'ennimi abangaali Ssaabasajja. The next item is going to be Amadinga. Hopefully you like it. That is omusango gw'abalere. Mr. Okero, nkutumidde.
Bangambye titujja kufuna slot endala.
Olabye empakanye mukama wange.
Tokitya. Mumwongere obugalo bannange. Tumwongere obugalo. Temuvaawo mwe musigale awo. Temuvaawo, ffenna tusigale awo. Tetuvaawo ku stage, tusigalewo. Ono nno ye mutabani wa Sempeke, si ye ono mutabani wa Sempeke. Tobitunyonyodde naye nze kambi bannyonyole. Mwami Sempeke y'omu ku bannayuganda. Dr. Sempeke era isikirekera kyeya bw'anajja ajja kinnyonnyola obulungi. Nze nyinza n'okubyonoona. Dr. Sempeke ye yavaamu omuvubuka ate tali bw'omu. Waliyo ne baganda be abalala abasigadde nga bakyatambuza obuwangwa bwa Uganda. Kitegeeza nti n'abazadde tulina okuguruminga, tulina okunacalinga, tulina okutendeka abaana basobole okuba nga baddira mu bigere byaffe. Mukubireko mu ngalo bassebo ne bannyabo. Mu kaseera kano nange byenjogera mbitegera mbigenderedde, munzikirize nyanirize Senkulu wa Uganda National Culture Center, Omwami Francis Peter Ojede. Temumuvuunulira Omwami Peter Ojede aje ayanirize chairperson ayogereko gye tuli. Mumukubire obugalo bassebo ne bannyabo. Mumukubire obugalo. Robert. I have come here again, and today is World Culture Day. I'm very happy and excited, and I think my role this afternoon is to do an introduction and to invite. I would like to, in a very special way, introduce the Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Uganda National Cultural Center, who is not only the chair, but is also an artist in his own right. And for a day like this, it's important that he comes and speaks to us. But I'm also requesting that as he comes, the team behind me should put something that shows that he's an artist. Because he cannot just come like that. He has to come with something that shows. If you are ready, you tell me. I'm going to request that as the chair comes, he's accompanied by the board members that are around so that he can come and speak to us. The chair is called Sam Okello Kello, and I want to welcome you in a very special way. I'm consulting a bit. Allow me to consult a bit. I'm sure there's a little bit of a change on program. We might have to invite UNATCOM before we call on the chair of the board. And may I therefore use this opportunity to, in a very special way, invite one of our biggest partners, one of the institutions that is of international repute, that represents the culture internationally. We know them, sometimes we misspell them as UNESCO, but in Uganda here, the UNATCOM, they represent us at the UNESCO. I therefore have the honor to invite the representative of the Secretary General of UNATCO to come and make a statement. You're most welcome.
gentlemen, before I go to reading the speech from my Secretary General, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Pauline Achola Pio, all the way from Lango. I'm happy to be here. I've learned a lot from today's experience. I think they rightly chose me to be here. And from today, I'm going to be another voice to the cultural institution with the National Commission for UNESCO. Now going to read through the communication from the Secretary General. The chief guest, the Chairperson Board of Trustees, Uganda National Cultural Center, the Director, UNCC, the officials from Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, the various cultural groups, officials in different capacities, dear invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure for me, on behalf of Uganda National Commission for UNESCO, and on my own behalf, to be with you all on this important day when we mark the World Day for Cultural Diversity, for Dialogue and Development. I bring you very warm and fraternal greetings from Uganda National Commission for UNESCO, that is UNATCOM, and in a special way from the Secretary General, who would have wished to be here in person but got engaged in equally important activity. I bring to you all our apology for not making it here. She's with us in spirit. This day, as you might already have known, has its origin in 2001, when the UN Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration on Cultural Diversity, followed by the 2002 UN General Assembly Declaration in its Resolution 57, that 21st May every year be World Day for Cultural Diversity, for Dialogue and Development. This year, 2020, is also very important, as the end of this decade will be required to inform the international community what we have achieved in the last 10 years in the promotion of mutual understanding among different cultures and reciprocal knowledge of cultural, ethnic, linguistic, and religious diversity. In 2015, during the discussions on the Sustainable Development Goals, the second committee of the UN General Assembly unanimously adopted a resolution on culture and sustainable development, affirming culture's contribution to 3 dimensions of sustainable development. That is social solidarity, environmental responsibility, and economic efficiency, acknowledging further the natural and cultural diversity of the world and recognizing that cultures and civilizations are crucial enablers for sustainable development. We had here our group here of actors telling us what UNESCO is. They broke down the abbreviation UNESCO. Now, going down, what do we know about UNESCO? UNESCO, as you may already be aware, was founded in 1945, soon after the end of the Second World War, to build peace in the minds through its 4 fields of competence, that is education, science, culture, communication, and information. It is the leading UN agency in the heritage field. UNESCO functions as laboratory of ideas, clearinghouse, standard setter, capacity builder, and a catalyst and motor for international cooperation. UNESCO is represented in the member state by the National Commission for UNESCO. That is who we are, where I'm coming from. We sit together with the Ministry of Education and Sports at Embassy House, 2nd floor. That is where you can get the National Commission for UNESCO. The National Commission for UNESCO serves primarily as the interface of UNESCO within the member states to promote the activities of UNESCO in education, sciences, culture, and communication. communication and information. Today's event falls under the culture program. In the Uganda National Commission for UNESCO Strategic Plan 2018-2025, the strategic objective is to support the safeguarding, promotion, development, protection, and management of heritage and cultural diversity for peace and sustainable development. We do this through a number of strategic interventions that include promoting and supporting cultural and creative industries, supporting the creation and enforcement of an enabling legal, policy, and practice environment for heritage protection, strengthening national capacities to promote, develop, and manage the cultural and creative industries, promoting cultural diversity, intercultural and interreligious dialogue, promoting educational and research in cultural diversity, promote the spirit of Ubuntu among the peoples and communities in Uganda, and finally supporting and safeguarding promotion of indigenous cultural heritage, including special attention to minority individual communities. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been documented that 3/4 of the world's major conflicts have a cultural dimension. So bridging the gap between cultures is urgent and necessary for peace, stability, and development. Cultural diversity is thus an asset that is indispensable for poverty reduction and the achievement of sustainable development. At the same time, acceptance and recognition of cultural diversity, in particular through innovative use of media and information and communication, are conducive to dialogue among civilizations and cultures, respect and mutual understanding. I wish to share with you also our expectation that such a celebration should help appreciate cultural diversity, gives our lives its richness, its color, and its dynamism, opening ways for social development and economic growth. UNESCO defines culture as the set of distinctive spiritual, material, intellectual, and emotional features of society or a social group that encompasses not only art and literature, but lifestyles, ways of living together, value systems, traditions, and beliefs. Let me now go to communication from the Director General for UNESCO as I summarize this speech. The Director General of UNESCO, Ms. Audrey Azoulay, in a message on this occasion, recalled the words of former United Nations Secretary General Mr. Boris Boros that cultures need to assemble but not resemble one another. These words encapsulate the fundamental aim of this day. The Director General advises the world that in the midst of crisis, from the coronavirus disease, that is COVID-19 pandemic, to wars and conflict, we need to recognize both the importance and the urgency of defending cultural diversity and tangible and intangible heritage. That culture is our most powerful ally for crisis management and recovery. It is a means by which each and every one of us can cultivate and enrich our inner life. It allows us to come together, to remember the past, and to think about the future. It allows us to understand that our differences provide the opportunity to celebrate the richness of the human mind, to expand our horizons, and to achieve unity in diversity. She laments that cultural diversity continues to be weakened and cautions the whole world that climate change is also a challenge to culture. Thus, the intention of UNESCO devise new, strong public policies for culture based on the opinions of those involved in the field, like the 355 UNESCO Resi Arts debates held across 115 countries that informed UNESCO report Reshaping Policies for Creativity, which was published this year. The report sets out clear recommendations to protect artists, to reduce inequality, both of gender and between regions, and to ensure a fair income distribution between digital platforms and creators. Finally, the Director General cautioned that although the rapid advancement of the digital world has broadened access to culture and inspired creativity, it also exacerbates inequality and can be a vector of cultural homogenization depending on how the digital advancement is used. I wish to conclude by calling upon everybody to embrace the spirit of partnership as an opportunity to contribute to strengthening professional, institutional, and legal capacities in heritage and helping integrate cultural policies into national development policies. We should seriously pursue youth education and mobilization in the field of heritage, including the development of tools for heritage-related conventions, like UNESCO has been doing through 2 programs, that is Heritage in Young Hands and Learning Through Heritage, Enhancing Youth Engagement. Let us use this day as an opportunity to deepen our understanding of the values of cultural diversity and to advance the 4 goals of UNESCO Convention on the Protection and Promotion of Diversity of Cultural Expressions, adopted on the 20th of October 2005. Happy celebrations of the 18th celebration of the World Culture Day. I say this for God and my country. Thank you.
Executive Director, kindly come and play your role. Thank you so much, UNESCO, UNATCOM. We also want to let you know that this evening we are having roots in the auditorium and the tickets are on sale. Please, let's celebrate World Culture Day this evening, beginning 6:30.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, representative from the UNATCOM, and the message was clear, and we want to thank you for that message. I picked one thing from your message which I want to go with, that in terms of culture we should never try to be the same. We can always converge, but we should never be the same, because that's where the diversity comes, and that's where the beauty of cultures comes. Thank you very much, and thank you for representing UNESCO. At this particular juncture, I have the opportunity to now invite my chairman of the board, and who is the chairman board of trustees of the Uganda National Cultural Center, and I'm going to request you that as you come with your board members so that you'll be able to speak. And I want to invite, and we have Mr. Sam Okello, Chairman Board of Directors of you. Please, you're welcome. Please put your hands together to welcome the chair. Thank you. Thank you. And please, the other members of the board, join him. Yes.
Kibao kali zaidi.
Don't worry, don't worry. That's one of my songs that I played recently to say that naming in our cultures is very important. We never name anybody by accident. So for me to be called Okello, it means I am born after twins. So our names have a lot of meaning. Our guest of honor, thank you very much for coming. I want to thank UNATCOM for coming. I want to thank National Culture Forum, represented by the Vice Chair. I want to thank NUCPAO, our union, represented by the Secretary General herself. I want to thank all of you artists. I want to thank all the development partners who are here with us, who have come to be with us. I want to thank my staff and management of UNCC. Thank you so much. And I want to say to my staff that I'm very proud of you. You have changed the face and the image of UNCC. Keep it up. In a very special way, as we thank our different leaders in the art, I want to say that without the good and goodwill of our great government, this would not happen. So let's give our government, and especially our ministry, a big round of applause. Before I talk, I would like to invite my colleagues in the board. I have a board of 7 people. And here I have 4, and I would like to take the opportunity to introduce them to you.
Thank you very much. My name is Chimba Msisi. I'm a member of the board and chairperson of the Art and Culture and Legal Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Fred Mteri. My voice is not well, that's why I'm keeping my mask on. I have flu and I don't want to give it to you. I'm a board member representing the silent domain, the visuals. Thank you very much.
I had already introduced myself. My name is Francis Peter Jede. I am by default a member of the board and a secretary to the board. Thank you.
Our guest of honor, I am not going to bring you here, but allow me to recognize that you also represent the ministry and government on the board. But I know you are now here in a different capacity, and much obliged. Ladies and gentlemen, today is very special. That's why I wanted to start with music, because that's my area of specialty. As an artist, it's very difficult to read a speech. But conformity demands that. Because when the artists were performing here, it was very difficult to be the board sitting down. support you, and the discussions will be different. The idea of collective responsibility is very important. So I would like to encourage all the artists to get involved in the structure that we are putting together so that we get better governance of art. Because when you're talking of culture, we have different domains, and all these domains, as the ED talked about, is under our ministry. It's under the National Cultural Center. You have music, you have performing arts, you have collective societies, you have films and video, you have visual arts and crafts, books and publishing, software and innovation, cultural and cultural heritage, support services like the managers of artists and like the promoters. All these fall under this, under our ministry. But when you look at how they are operationalized, you will find that there's a lot of some of our responsibilities lying in different ministries. And that's why the National Culture Forum said there's need for replication. But I would advise that before we get to that level, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation that is facilitated by our ministry, and together with the UNCC, you have a conversation before you get to that level, because sometimes lobbying helps a lot. I would like to say, let's strengthen the enforcement of copyright, and once we get that, then we can now have clear collection of the data that we need for our sector. And once we have data, then you can clearly demand for things from government. I know we have taken a lot of time. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you for coming. I think there's a lot that we should take from the speech of our guest of honor, from the speech of the chairperson of the National Culture Forum. Government needs to dissect our sector a little bit more. We know we want to thank government when they were streamlining the different government ministries and agencies. Uganda National Culture Center was spared, and we want to thank government so much for that. But at the same time, we would like to say that let's internalize and see, while we streamline, what are the values that the institutions that we have left will bring to us, and what are those things that we need to put in place for them to be able to give us the right output that we're looking for. And I think Culture Forum is saying maybe let's look at having a ministry for our sector, because our sector is humanity. Our sector is quite broad. So I want to thank you very much for coming, and I want to say UNCC is here for you. Allow us to manage arts and culture, and we are going to go to the different regions of Uganda, and this is already within our budgets. And I want to encourage, I always talk about sustainability. I want to encourage the management to make sure that these structures that we are setting becomes part of national budget and funded priorities. Let's negotiate for this so that those structures do exist. Thank you very much, and I want to play a demo for you before I leave. Chief guest, I'm going to invite you after the song. Give me a mic here on this one. Yes. Organize this one. I want to... Our guest of honor with that cultural interval is a privilege and honor. But before I invite you, I want to say this, and this is from the bottom of my heart. As someone who has been a cultural scholar and someone who has been in this field for long, one day, history will forget. But I want all of us who are here to acknowledge Director Juliana for a great work she has done for this industry. Director Juliana has worked so hard that if you hear anything about culture and the development of culture in this country, everything will point to that mother of ours. Juliana, as Okello, as the Chairman Board of Trustees of Uganda National Cultural Center, we want to recognize your contribution to arts and culture and to the creative industry. And therefore, it's no accident that you are here to represent our minister. I want to thank you very much and invite you to come and give your speech.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening to all of you. Since Okello showcased his expertise in playing adungu and singing so nicely, I will also show my expertise by saying I know 8 languages in Uganda. And for that matter, allow me to greet my chair, Mr. Okello Sam, Apoyo Bino, 15, Katiakoloka World Culture Day, Amori Tutwal. And those of you who are from northern Uganda, I hope you can appreciate. If we had time, I would be able to mention more words with the other 7 languages. So thank you very much. I am Naumo Juliana Akorio. I am the Director, Gender and Community Development ad interim, standing in for my minister, Honorable Betty Amongi Ongom, MP, who has not been able to be with us today due to other commitments. I would like, first of all, to appreciate the Chair, Board of Trustees, Uganda National Cultural Center, Mr. Okelo Kelo Sam. I would like to appreciate the Secretary General, UNATCOM, here represented. I would like to appreciate the members of the Board of Trustees, UNCC, who are with us this evening. I would like to appreciate the ED, UNCC. I would like to appreciate the Vice Chairperson, National Culture Forum. I would also like to appreciate the Secretary General, Nokpao, for being with us. I would like to appreciate all the invited guests, all the staff of UNCC, and the media here present, and all the artists. Thank you very much for joining us on this day. I will make 3 summarized presentations. The first one is to just highlight the week of activities for this day. This World Culture Day, as is known in Uganda, has a long name, which is World Day for Cultural Diversity, for Dialogue and Development. That is the known international name for this day. But since Uganda is a state party of UNESCO and has its own sovereign rights, we, the stakeholders in the culture sector, call this day World Culture Day. For the many years we've commemorated this day, from 1999, we've had a week of activities which usually start on the 14th and end on the actual day, 21st, like today. So during this week of activities for 2022, we had the first activity, which was commemoration of International Day of the Family. And I would like to thank the Chair of the Board of Trustees for saying everything that happens in this country starts at family level. And that is why we started a commemoration with the International Day of the Family. All the values, all the good people in this country, all the productive people in this country, all the rich people, all the kinds of people we have must have gotten those values at family level. Values for respect for one another, values for hard work, values for acknowledging each other, values for unity, name it. So in case there's anything going wrong in our country, you know that it is happening at the family level. And therefore, I urge all of us present to do a lot more in terms of better communication at family level and trying to teach our young children what is best for you as a family, for the community, and for the country as a whole. The second activity we had was a training on the International Fund for Cultural Diversity. And this took place on Monday. For those of you who may not know, under a UNESCO convention that this country ratified under the Ministry of Culture, that is the Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expressions, we have funding for people to apply, especially NGOs, to the tune of $100,000 every year from the time when we ratified this convention in 2015. So as part of the days and weeks activities, we had that training online. On Tuesday, we had Uganda's launch of UNESCO's third report under diversity of cultural expressions, and that also took place. On Wednesday, we had the Uganda Museums Day, and we had a lot of interesting information coming through. Then on Thursday, we had the national dissemination of Uganda's first report after 4 years of ratifying the Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expressions. And on Friday, yesterday, you had that excellent dialogue which came up with very interesting recommendations, and today we are here. So that was my first brief to you about the week of activities to appreciate you. Second and most important, I would like to appreciate Chairperson that of all the World Culture Days we've held since 1999, this has been the best, well prepared and exhibited World Culture Day. And for that matter, I would like to appreciate all the partners. The exhibition especially was excellent. I liked the fact that there was an exhibition by UNCC where UNCC had a project on training young people on safeguarding our intangible cultural heritage. That is how we can make people appreciate our culture. Chairperson, you mentioned here that we have those figures. Who knows them? We have young people. Who knows what these young people are doing? So I appreciate that. Then we had games by Chess. Chess, are you around? We had Okwepena. I actually took part in it. It gives you good health. And we also had Dulu. We also had Kasonko. This is in Lusoga. I told you that I know 8 languages. So these 3 games are really important for our health and also for uniting us. I would like to encourage that Chess continues together with the Minister of Gender to take these games to the different institutions and to the different communities. That is how we can preserve our culture. Then I loved that architecture. Our entrance to these gardens, I loved them so much. With the writing of World Culture Day, that is creativity which we are talking about. And then we had the exhibition inside the green room. The exhibition by UBC, our neighbors. Thank you for being good neighbors with UBC. We had an exhibition by Brims, a family called Brims, which had very, very interesting equipment for us to learn from. And then we had our painters. This is excellent, that I had not seen before. Thank you very much for those of you who did this work. I would like to appreciate and respond to what the Secretary General for UNATCOM said, that we shall be expected to make our report after 10 years of cultural diversity. And I would like to confirm to you that we are ready to make that report, just like we recently on Thursday launched our 4th yearly report after ratifying the Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expression, but also to inform you that this year we are submitting our report on the male child cleansing ceremony. This is a ceremony where the male child is taken through certain rituals and his manhood is restored back. So we'd like to appreciate that we are going to do our bit and we shall submit in time like we've always done. We've not failed in submitting our reports to UNESCO, so we shall do that. I'd also like to acknowledge that in strengthening our sector, we now have the National Culture Forum, which is a private sector-led institution which was in the Uganda National Culture Policy 2006. I would like to encourage all individuals, all associations, that this is where you take all your issues. Let us avoid running from one institution to another. That National Culture Forum is based here at the National Theatre. So if you have any complaint, if you have any suggestion, please, the forum is there for you. And you saw the Vice Chairperson clearly articulating the issues for the sector. Once the forum has managed certain issues, And maybe there are those which are not well addressed. They are supposed to pass them to Uganda National Cultural Center, and then from UNCC to the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. I would like to encourage that unless we have these governance systems in place, we won't move an inch. We shall be moving in cycles. So can we please ensure that those associations out there, please register with the forum. And also to highlight to the vice chairperson of the forum that like the chairperson of UNCC said, yeah, you don't need to petition very fast. Let us do dialogue. In the UN system, when there is an issue you want to take there, and you assume you've taken it there, they will ask you, did you exhaust all the procedures at country level? So I would like to encourage that you also first exhaust all the other procedures within our sector before we petition, so that we move together. Let us move as a team. Together we shall win. Then finally, I would like to appreciate all the members of the National Organizing Committee. Members, where are you? Can you come here? And we appreciate you. Okay. Cameramen, camera women, can you come and take this memorable picture? Because now this is a team. It has the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, it has UNCC, it has the National Union of Culture and Creative and Allied Workers in the culture sector, and then it also has the National Culture Forum, and then it has the artists themselves. So we'd like to appreciate so much the excellent work. What I appreciated in the beginning is actually the work of your hands. Thank you very much for that excellent performance. So you may stay there as I make my remarks now as the minister. Okay, the chairperson of the Uganda National Cultural Sector, the Secretary General, Uganda National Commission for UNESCO, the Vice President, National Culture Forum, all government officials here present, all the culture stakeholders, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure today and pride to join you as we commemorate World Day for Cultural Diversity for Dialogue and Development 2022. I wish to congratulate everybody and the country at large for this important time when we gather here as a nation to thank the Almighty for the guidance, the providence, the grace, the protection, and to our population in particular and the friends of culture as we continue to struggle with COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, the NRM government under its able leadership and the leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda values culture and recognizes and highlights the importance that culture plays towards socioeconomic transformation of Ugandans. This day provides an opportunity to remind ourselves of the importance of culture and creative industry in the socioeconomic development and to reflect on the challenges that are posed by COVID-19 to the sector, but therefore also to say, can we harness the opportunities that could have been created by this COVID-19, especially the opportunity of digital transformation. The theme for this year is Culture Post-COVID-19, Rebuilding Uganda's Creative Economy. Ladies and gentlemen, this theme was deliberately selected to call upon all of us in the sector to join hands and address the impact of the pandemic to the sector. And I think with the example that you've seen in the commemoration of this day, I think we are going to address those issues together. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's World Culture Day comes at a time of anxiety and excitement For many, the opening of public spaces, cultural gatherings, provides a leeway for cross-border movement and performances and concerts, which will lead to a high demand for cultural spaces and increased production of cultural goods and services. Unfortunately, the local market is still limited on one hand by a number of factors which could be related with equipment, could be related with capacity, or could be related with other issues, maybe legal and policy issues. However, we are aware that once we've identified where our gap is, then we should be able to identify what we should do to address that to benefit the creators in the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather here to take stock of the experiences, the achievements, and the challenges, and to create awareness on issues of development related to culture and explore these opportunities available for the survival and growth of our culture and creative industries amidst COVID-19. Culture industries in Africa, and in particular, are responsible for socialization, for entertainment or edutainment, for mobilization and nurturing of our children and young people to become responsible and productive citizens to contribute to national development. In order for us, therefore, to promote and strengthen the culture and creative sector in the midst of COVID-19, we need to see the negative consequences and the challenges that are impacting on the culture sector, which could contribute better to it being a backbone for national development. There is therefore need for us as government, stakeholders, and development partners to support budget for innovation and increase the creativity and cultural spaces in the economy. I would like to believe that culture, despite the challenges it is facing, contributes to a number of sustainable development goals in this country, and one of which is the goal on eradicating extreme poverty. I am happy that in the exhibition, the young people now are able to make products in the mat industry from which they can get an income. And I believe in all the other domains, they can still be able to get an income. Poverty not only impacts on the sector, but also on other goals. The culture sector so far contributes to over 8 goals out of 17 goals of the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm happy to report that even the issue of climate change that we are talking about, we'd like to appreciate CCFU, who have used the culture as a tool to address and mitigate climate change. On Thursday, they had an activity in Hoima in which they were trying to showcase how culture is linked and can address aspects of climate change. So this is the tool, this is the area that we are supposed to promote to be able to contribute to all those sustainable development goals. There is a goal on partnership and strengthened institutions. It's the culture sector which can help us to strengthen partnerships and the institutions. So let's look critically at those excellent examples in the culture sector. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, I would like to reiterate the Ministry's commitment to identifying and ensuring support for culture and creative industry, integrating cultural development industries into national policy making, and designing more strategies and programs that can help us build the capacities to address the challenges of the country. I heard at some point when they were saying that we need to build the capacity of the stakeholders. We are working towards that. I am aware that the symposium that was conducted on Friday yesterday reported a number of issues, and I would like to thank the Vice President of the National Culture Forum for highlighting these challenges. I would just like to respond to some of them. One is on infrastructural development. We've written a project proposal, which is at step 2 on project profile management, which we are supposed to share with the Ministry of Finance, and it was already approved, but we need to go now to the pre-feasibility stage And in this, we had agreed that we would have 9 cultural spaces in the country, and we believe this can help us to address that. There are only 2 more stages. Once we finish the pre-feasibility and the detailed feasibility, then we'll be able to get that support. Then the other issue raised was the issue of teachers, who are very few in the sector. We need to engage with our colleagues from Ministry of Education and Sports to identify, one, where these persons are. Do we have them? Do we have a database of people who can teach in all the various domains? If we have, then we can be able to negotiate. Then the other one was about a register with the National Culture Forum and the need to create unity. That one we've already highlighted, that all the associations should register under you. I recall many times individuals call me and say, Madam, we want to go to London, we want to go to USA, we want a recommendation. And I say, but where is this person coming from? Is he or she an individual? Is he in an association? How do I recommend a person I don't know? So we want to say, let us strengthen now the structures that are in place so that we don't put a lot of work at the ministry, which is supposed to work on issues of policy, on standards, on guidelines, support supervision, and technical assistance, so that the National Culture Forum should be the one recommending before the ministry tries to do research on 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 people. On the issue of markets, I would like to say that indeed we need to have markets, and the ministry is developing together with UNCC our digital platform, which is one way through which we can put our products. But we need to have quality products which can compete favorably with other products internationally. So that digital platform would soon be unveiled for us. But also in the capacity building, we hope we shall be able to help them to get the capacity that they need. The other issue around markets was the issue of licensing, the issue of rights, and the issue of sale. We take note of this. You are aware that the copyright law is being amended. In case the processes are slow, we had already started to take up the process. At the time being, the copyright law is under another agency, but we decided to say, let's bring all the stakeholders together. We had our first meeting. We are supposed to report on progress next month, and the National Culture Forum is aware. So all the things can be taken into consideration. Then the other one is the money of 500,000 shillings, which is very high for registration. We shall also engage, because it's useless to have 500 and there's no, which did not take place because of other commitments. We commit that we shall follow this up. And with the banks, we've already started engaging on the issue of credit. We're already engaging with the Absa Bank to see the feasibility of them supporting us with our intellectual property, which is our economic base. And then systematically, we shall go to the other banks. The same applies to the call ringback tunes. We shall also explore the possibility. Like we say, do not petition very fast. Let's engage again with these telecom companies on a serious note, as well as the government agencies responsible for this. I think we've not sat together to understand the disposition, and then we can be able to move now that we're a strong team as a partner. And the other issue of CMOs, artists need to support. I think this is awareness raising. We need to continue raising awareness for the artists to register under the CMOs so that they are able to collect the royalties on your behalf. But the CMOs must also be able to be transparent. But we also need a system that can help us to see how many times that artist's work was produced and how much was produced. Without that system, the artists may also not be very confident that exactly that is the amount of money they could have been able to get from this. So we like to say we need to prioritize among all this to get one strategic intervention that can help us to be able to strengthen the sector economically, but also in terms of employment, and also contributing to the country's GDP. Then the last one was the traditional cultural expressions, that we need to see whether there's a law or we want to have a law. This is already work in progress with the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. They are developing principles for a law on traditional cultural expression. Now the challenge is we should be raising more awareness first among the communities so that they know that anybody who comes to their community, they are supposed to have entry points, not that everybody who comes there, anyone can give information at any time. So we have still a lot of work to be able to address all these challenges. I want to say that with the UNCC, with the Union, with the National Culture Forum, we need to continue to break down these many issues you've highlighted so that we put emphasis on first things first, and then the rest would follow. And we should be able to systematically speak the same language in terms of identifying what we want to put financing on. I would like to say that my ministry is conducting a national mapping of the culture and creative industry sector. It is my hope and belief that in the next 3 weeks, we should have been able to come with statistics on employment, statistics on income, statistics on revenue and contribution to this economy. I recall that in 2014, we carried out another mapping with the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, and in this mapping, it had indicated the number of people formally employed in the sector. And if we find that the results of the mapping are not as good as they were in 2014, we know that it is the impact of COVID-19 because it has affected us for almost now coming to the 3rd year. And the other challenge we find in terms of the data is that when you ask the, are they called the stars? I think they are stars. They say, why are you calling me? Why do you need my information? I am not going to give you. And that will gives us wrong information in the sector. Because you are missing out critical information then on the number of people employed, on the income, and all that. So we cannot plan for you. So we encourage all the artists out there, when there is research being done in your sector, contribute effectively. Do not say, for me, I'm a star, I'm not going to contribute. You are making your sector fail because we cannot use incomplete information to defend financing, for example, for the sector, or for the equipment you need for the sector, for anything you need for the sector. So I would like to say, for those who might have missed, maybe next year we shall be able to do another mapping. But also under the French Embassy, the Department of Culture and Family Affairs wrote a proposal still for the mapping of the sector, but because of the delays in approval, it coincided with government now putting money towards the mapping of the sector. So we say, let's now do specific mapping for each of the domains. So we prioritize the film industry and also the music industry, so that we know in the film industry, these are the number of people employed, this is the income. Then in the music industry, the same. Then the national mapping, which I've talked about, would give you the broad picture of all the domains in terms of employment, income, revenue, and contribution to GDP. So with baseline data, the economists would then be able to justify why we need to be supported. So it's my hope that in the subsequent activities, we don't become difficult people and fail to have the information shared. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to once again appreciate all of you for your continued support. I want us to know these 5 P's if we want to do very good in whatever thing we are doing. Then there are actually 6. One is prayer, proper planning prevents poor performance. I want us to get those 6 P's in everything we do, whether at home, whether in the community, whether at any institutional level. you need the 6 P's: prior, proper, planning prevents poor performance. And with that, allow me now to thank all these people who contributed towards the success of this day. One, the Uganda Museum and the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities would like to give a big round of applause to them. The baby of UNCC, Nomo Gallery, thank you very much for those excellent products. The team leader of the Heritage Project under UNCC, can you wave to us? Are you there? Then the NACAO, the members of NACAO for exhibiting and always being together with UNCC. Are you with us? Uganda Broadcasting Corporation Archives, the Railway Museum, the Brimes Museum, Acheza, Tukole Lights, Palwood, Food Plots, all the performing artists like House of Talent, African Arts. There was Andrew, was it Andrew? There was Andrew, Andrea, all those of you, all the performing artists really would like to appreciate you. Sempeke, when Sempeke was performing, I said, isn't that Sempeke? They said, no, that is the son. So it means I knew your dad. Thank you very much for taking on daddy's talent. Then we have Soul Fest. Then we have National Union of Culture and Creative Allied Performing Artists Union. Then we have the National Culture Forum, and then the Board of Uganda National Cultural Center, and then the National Organizing Committee, and most importantly, the media who have been with us since morning. With those remarks, I would now like to say we've come to the end of this World Culture Day commemoration. Yes, I would wish to say we continue to work together as a team and to lay strategies for overcoming the challenges we faced since COVID-19 and is still on, and to urge all of us to continuously follow the SOPs. COVID is still on in this country. Please, government has not yet announced otherwise. I encourage you and urge you and beg you. You don't want to be in the COVID situation. For those who have tested COVID, they know what it means. If you haven't, you may assume it's easy. It's not easy. Take it seriously and follow the SOPs that government has given. I now take this opportunity to officially close the activities of the week for commemoration for World Culture Day, for diversity, for dialogue and development, for God and my country.
Thank you very much, the team that has just been performing, our guest of honor. I want to seize this opportunity to thank you very, very much for allowing yourself to come and for officiating over this event. And we want to, at this particular time, just move a vote of thanks to you and to everybody that took time to come and celebrate with us today, the World Culture Day. It has been good to have you. It has been nice to have you. Thank you very, very much. I want to say two things before we can close, we can go. We have an event that is going to be performed this week, starting next week, call it next week. We have the Legends, and I want to report to you that the Legends have come back into the National Theatre, into UNCC, and they will be performing next week. Please come and witness what they're going to perform. The second thing I want to say is that we want to report to you that as part of government contribution, this stage that you see we are performing in, this stage was given to us by government and it belongs to Uganda National Cultural Center. This is very big. Anybody who would like to use it in terms of promoting art and culture will be allowed, except that there are going to be terms and conditions that are applicable. So it is open for us to be able to use. And then lastly, I also want to let you know that the programs are going to shift later on from here to the auditorium. And we're going to have a lot of performances inside the auditorium. And we encourage those who still have time to join us and be able to enjoy the programs that are going to be in the auditorium. With those few remarks, I want to say thank you to everyone, and I want to wish every one of you God's blessings, and I ask that if you go home, please go home safely, and regards to your families. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.